I'll take it.
So my friend Matt has just opened his own record store, and I've always wanted an excuse to try the Rhythm Roulette challenge. So I took this as a sign and paid him a visit. If you've never heard of this challenge, I'm very much stealing the idea from the Mass Appeal YouTube channel. And this is where a producer goes to a shop, gets blindfolded, picks out 3 records at random, and then build a completely new song using the samples from that vinyl. If you haven't seen any proper episodes before, my suggestions be Kenny Beats, DJ Babu, Mr. Carmack, Ninth Wonder. I'll link all these in the description below. Sometimes when producers do this, they'll take 1 or 2 samples and then make the rest of the song using their own usual kits and equipment. But I personally think it's more fun to limit yourself just to what you sample off the record and nothing else. So that's what I'll be doing today, no extra samples. So let's take a look at what records we're working with. So first up, we've got a greatest hits compilation from Billie Holiday. What a great start. Billie Holiday, obviously such a legend in jazz, blues, soul music. Bound to be some great stuff on this. And I can see this one includes her track Strange Fruit, probably her most well-known song. A lot of tracks on here I'm not too familiar with, so looking forward to checking those out. Can't see any dates on the record, but I'm pretty sure it's a recent pressing. However, most of these songs are probably close to 80 years old now, so I'm not expecting amazing things from the sound quality. But let's get it on the turntable, see what we can get out of it.
There ain't nobody gonna hold me down.
Next up, we've got Miss Olivia Newton-John, what looks to be a self-titled record, not one I'm familiar with. I only really know her role in the film Grease. The vinyl looks a little bit scratched up, so hopefully it sounds okay. Third and finally, we've got the record I'm most excited about, because look at this. From what I understand, this is what's called a flexi disc. This particular one came from Flexi Pop magazine, and only one side of this is actually playable due to how thin it is. It even advises you to place a coin on top of it when you play it. And if you're wondering, unfortunately, no, it's not worth anything today. So, what does it sound like?
This way.
Where you been, boy?
I'm going to start with the flexi disc audio. I've got a nice loop that I'll use for the drums and the bass, and I'll just work up from there. Next, I want to bring in that vocal I got from the Billie Holiday record. Let's also just reduce the width of this a little bit so it sits more in the centre. These older recordings tend to have vocals panned quite heavily to one side. I'm just going to try adding a stutter effect on some parts of this as well. Okay, so I've got a nice little horns part I want to try out, and just a little bit of delay. I had a little go doing some scratching with the Olivia Newton-John record. I'm going to have a play around with some of these little one-shots I got, see if I can turn one into a laser or a siren. Okay, and I've found a sample I think might work well with a wavetable synth, so the oscillator is actually going to work based on the audio we just dragged in. Right, I've gone ahead and done a final arrangement, automated some reverb and delay to give it a nice spacey, dubby feel, and I've also added some more Billie Holiday vocal clips of her talking to the intro of the record. So thank you very much for watching this far in. This is my first video on YouTube. Got a few more videos in the works coming up soon, so if you've made it this far, please consider subscribing. So thank you for watching, and here's the finished track.